Alright, making this quick video just to get you started on this practice in case you're having trouble. So just like what we did in our notebooks when we just take notes on writing ratios, oops, this should say ratios, not ratians, and solving for a missing angle, the front side here says, look at the information given in the diagram. Which trig function would you use to find the missing angle? So looking at the ratio, we need to figure out what we've got and which one it will be, sine, cosine, or tangent. So if we're looking for theta, theta is right here where the question mark is. So I have my opposite side, 39, and I have my hypotenuse, which is 48. So which trig function will I need? Which trig function uses O and H? Well, let's write down our SOHCAHTOA. So O and H are here, so sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So for this one, I would use sine. That's the actual full way to write out sine. SIN is just abbreviation for sine. Alright, for number 2, you can do the same thing. Here's your theta. Which sides do you have? I don't have my opposite. I have my hypotenuse. I have my adjacent leg. So I have adjacent and hypotenuse. So adjacent, it's either going to be tangent or cosine, but because I have hypotenuse with it, it's going to be C for cosine. Cosine. So you're going to do 3 through 8, write down sine, cosine, or tangent, excuse me, and then check the answer key to see if you're doing it correctly. And then I will go over in just a few minutes. You're going to pause the video, you're going to check those, you're going to come back, and we're going to start at number 9. Go ahead and pause it, finish them, check your answers, and come on back. Alright, looking at number 9. Number 9 says, find the measure of the indicated angle, round your answer to the nearest whole degree. Please note this. That means whole number. We have not practiced rounding to a nearest whole number, so let's do this first one together here to make sure we know what we're doing. Alright, so find the measure of the indicated angle means we need to actually find theta. Question mark equals theta here. So this is our theta. To find theta, we need to figure out what we've got. So opposite is blank. Hypotenuse is 37. Adjacent is 24. So since I have adjacent and hypotenuse, I'm going to use cosine. So I'm going to do cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So 24 over 37. Because I actually have to find the angle, I need to solve for theta. That's where we're going to practice what we just learned. We're going to use the inverse of cosine. I'm going to do inverse cosine of cosine theta. You can use parentheses or square brackets. I think in the notes I was using square brackets. Either one is fine. Equals inverse cosine of 24 over 37. You have to write this step. This is showing your work. You're showing what you're doing the inverse cosine. You want to cross these out. Those people that want to get 8s want to show all their steps. Inverse cosine cancels out cosine. So I'm left with just theta equals, and I'm going to put that in my calculator. So second cosine gets me inverse cosine, 24 divided by 37. Enter, and I get 49. Here's my calculator. 49.56. So it says round to the nearest whole degree, so that's the nearest whole number. So I got to decide, is this 49 or 50? Because there's a 5 after the decimal point, that means I'm going to round that up to a 50. It's more than 49. Well, it's 49 and a half, so we're halfway there, which means we round up. So I'm going to say theta is, actually I'm going to make this approximate since we're rounding it off, approximately 50 degrees. Not exactly 50 degrees, but for this exercise, they're asking us to round off to a whole number, so I'm going to say approximately 50 degrees. Alright, so there you go. Set up your number 10. Check back in a second. Pause the video, set it up, solve it, see if you did it correctly. Check back with me. I'll do it out in just a minute. And then you're going to do the rest of the worksheet on the back. And then you're going to check your answers on the answer key. So pause it, do number 10, check back with me about how you did. Alright, so hopefully you've done number 10 now. Here's our theta. So I have the opposite side, which is 11. I have the hypotenuse, which is 21. I don't have the adjacent side, so I'm focusing on opposite and hypotenuse, which means I'm focusing on sine. So sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, which is 11 over 21. To solve for theta, I need to do the inverse sine on both sides of my equation. So that's like the same as subtracting 2 from both sides. You're doing the inverse on both sides. This sine inverse canceled out with this sine. I'm left with just theta. Actually, I'm probably going to need a squiggly equal sign here. So I'm going to do sine inverse of 11 over 21 in my calculator. I'm going to round to the nearest whole degree. Sine inverse 11 divided by 21. 31.58. So I'm going to say, is this 31 or 32? Because it's 0.5, I'm going to round it up to 32. So theta is approximately 32 degrees. Hopefully you did that correctly. Got the same answer. Now you're going to flip over the paper. You've got number 11 through 20 to do, and then check your work with the answer key when you're done. We'll have a formative on this after you practice. Thanks for watching.